episode of Sleep and Relax ASMR. Today I will be reading some urban legends. Not sure at all if they're true or false or what their status is, but I thought it'd be the kind of thing that would be fun for me and hopefully fun for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Thanks for tuning in and hope you guys enjoy. So the first urban legend, which says it's true, but I'm not totally sure if it is. There is a private club in Disneyland in California called Club 33, and it's the only place in the park where alcohol is served. And according to this website, it says you don't even need to be a member to confirm its existence because it's marked with a sign which is publicly visible right on or right at street level in the New Orleans Square. I suppose in the park. I've never been to Disneyland in California. The next urban legend, also Disney themed. There is another even more secret lounge called Club 21 near the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. But this rumor, or this urban legend, according to this website, says it's false. Club 21 isn't real. In fact, the legend of Club 21 has likely been conflated with Club 33, which is near the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. So it seems like Club 33 is very real, and if it's, I'm assuming Disneyland, just like Magic Kingdom and Disney World, does not serve any alcohol. So I'm guessing that's why it makes it a cool, kind of an urban legend. Not really though, because if it's publicly available knowledge, then I guess it's not really an urban legend. But anyway, let's find another one here. So the website I'm looking at now, it's all Disney themed. Let's see if I can find another one that would be nice to read. The mural at the Grand Floridian Resort in Disney World depicts a Nazi soldier watching over the scene. This one apparently is true. It says here the artist responsible for the painting has claimed to have included a Nazi officer in the background in the Great Gatsby era party scene depicted in the mural at the Grand Floridian Resort. That's interesting. I would have probably never noticed it. It's kind of like a very minor detail in the mural. Let's see what else I can find here. There are like a couple of almost like sad urban legends that's why I'm kind of scrolling through a few, because I don't necessarily want the episode to be sad or scary or weird. Urban legends. Until recently, Disneyland prohibited men with long hair to enter the park. This one apparently is true. So it says here, when Disneyland first opened, the official employee appearance code had a ton of prohibitions, including mustaches, beards, and long hair on men. And that dress code extended beyond employees on an unofficial basis until the late 60s. And then I suppose after that it just kind of became accepted that men with facial hair and long hair could enter. That's kind of a cool fact. It's almost like useless Disney facts. Maybe I'll save some of these others for later. But that's pretty is to cover up all of his tattoos, which is crazy. But promptly after mentioning all this, the website, reads, as you may have guessed, Mr. Rogers was never a Navy SEAL and had no tattoos. In fact, he was never even in the military. This isn't the first time that this rumor has circulated concerning a clean-cut celebrity. That would be so badass if that would have been true. This next urban legend is called Kennedy and the Jelly Donut, and it goes like this. Legend goes that Kennedy made a trip to Germany back in the 60s in an attempt to connect with German people, or with the German people. While giving a speech in the capital, he told the crowd, "Ich bin ein Berliner," or "I am a Berliner." Apparently, though, a Berliner is also a type of German pastry, and since then numerous stories have circulated claiming that he was practically laughed off stage afterwards. The truth is, however, that the crowd understood him perfectly, and apparently no one actually laughed him off stage because they understood what he was trying to go for. So I suppose that's another urban legend dispelled. Let's see what else I can find on here. The next urban legend is called the dissolving tooth, and it involves Coca-Cola, the drink, not the drug. So it says, there are numerous urban legends involving Coca-Cola. In fact, there are so many that these legends all now have their own category, known as Coke lore. The most popular is that if you were to leave a tooth in a cup of Coke overnight, by morning the tooth would be completely dissolved. Like most of the other legends involving Coke, this one is totally untrue. So I don't know if expecting a different outcome, but hoping for one almost, just to kind of like get some true urban legends in here. Also, I apologize if you hear any clicking. I'm literally just going back and forth between recording and, clicking on articles, and I'm trying to do so in the least obnoxious way possible, but I apologize in advance for any more clicks. Let's see what other urban legends I can pull up here. The next urban legend is titled Sewer Gators, and I'm pretty sure I know what it involves, or I've heard of it, but I'll read it. This urban legend tells the tale of how several alligators were brought up from Florida to be kept as pets in New York City. After they got too big and violent, they escaped into the sewers, where they now live freely. Dating back to the 1930s and spread by sensationalist newspapers, the story is completely untrue, yet continues to be circulated to this day. See, I kind of assumed it was false, but again, I just love urban legends, and I love hearing about tells the story of a woman who is driving down a dark road at night, only to have a strange car pull up behind her and start flashing its lights. As the woman takes off on her exit and approaches her home, the stranger continues to follow her. She pulls up in her driveway, ready to make a mad dash to her front door, only to hear the stranger behind her get out of his car and yell to her to lock her door and call 911. Only after the police arrived does she learn that the stranger was actually trying to protect her. In her backseat was a man holding a butcher knife, ready to stab her to death. The stranger had noticed his shadow form and started flashing his lights to get her attention, after which the figure slouched back down in the seat. So that's a very creepy one. I think if I'd read that one beforehand, I probably wouldn't have read it out. But, I don't know. Anyway, I'll try to find ones that aren't so creepy. On a lighter note, this one is called The Jedi Religion Form, and it reads, "This far-reaching urban legend claims that if enough people fill out Jedi as their religion on their census forms, the government will have to make it an official religion. In fact, at one point, thousands of people tried to do just that, but to no avail. Just because a large number of people check something on a census form is not grounds for introducing it as official." So I guess the urban legend is whether or not people actually tried, or I'm not sure if it's that, or if the urban legend is the government would recognize it as an official religion if enough people put it down. But either way, it was a nice effort. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds for Jedi being a religion, an official religion, that is. A much happier urban legend than the previous one. Let's see what else I can see. Next one is called USA Japan. This one's pretty nice, or it's cool. So it says there is a town in Japan called USA, so USA, I guess is how you pronounce it. And it says, no, the Japanese did not rename it after World War II so that they could legitimately stamp their exports with the phrase, made in USA. But let me take a quick second to Google if this place actually exists, because this one should be pretty easy to verify its legitimacy. So, at least according to Wikipedia, there is a town called USA, or USA, in Japan, in the Kyushu region, and it has a population of around 59,136 people. The city itself was founded on April 1st, 1967. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I was almost expecting that one to be false, but nice. Cool. Let's see what other cool urban legends I can find on here. So the next one is back on the Disney theme. It's kind of a cool one. So the urban legend, or the myth, whatever you want to call the rest of this episode, the character Snow White represents cocaine, and the seven dwarfs represent the stages of cocaine addiction. This one reads as false. So I suppose what it really means is it's false in the sense that the story was not created with the idea of, depicting the story of cocaine and cocaine addiction, but rather just, it was kind of some story fabricated to, kind of just connect the dots between adds a little bit of detail here on the website, but I'll just move on because it's, you know, it's kind of like a funny, silly kind of urban legend that, you know, reads as false and just in all likelihood is false. Let's see, we'll do a couple more on here. There are a couple urban legends here that on a website they don't really provide much detail after, but I'll kind of do like a rapid fire, if you will. So, number one, women are indeed more attracted to men who play instruments. Number two, the Pentagon has plans in place to combat a zombie apocalypse. Number three, Twister was once thought to be a rude game. What exactly that means, I'm not sure. I'm just doing the quick fire. Number four, there is a building that is both in Canada and the USA. Once again, I assume it's, or in this case, excuse me, I assume it's, you know, it kind of borders both. Number five, two planes have landed on the streets in downtown Manhattan. Number six, a death row inmate once asked for a single olive with a pit for his final meal. Number seven, Leonardo da Vinci wrote right to left. Number eight, the cherry blossoms, the cherry blossom trees in Washington, D.C. were a gift from Japan to the USA. Number nine, mosquitoes have been genetically altered to not carry diseases. Number 10, the line "I have a dream" was not in Martin Luther King's original speech. Number 11, otters sleep holding hands so that they don't float away from each other. That's adorable. Number 12, condoms cost hundreds of dollars in Venezuela. Number 13, speaking in Native American languages helped the American Army in World War II. There's a great movie on that. Wind Talkers, is it? I think it might be Wind Talkers. I don't remember the specific title. Number 14, Pinocchio literally means pinehead in Italian. Number 15, suppressing a sneeze can rupture blood vessels, crack ribs, or pop an eardrum. Number 16, Einstein aspired to be a musician. Number 17, Earth is the only planet not named after a god. Number 18, there were two twins that were born 3 months apart. How does that even happen? That's terrible. Number 19, Pablo Picasso's full name is 14 words long. Number 20, 10% of all babies born in Europe are conceived on IKEA beds. That's wild. Number 21, your cell phone carries 18 times more bacteria than a toilet seat. Number 22, Al Gore and Tommy Lee Jones were roommates while at Harvard. says they were all true. I'm not sure, of course, as to how true or false some of those were. Let's take a look. I might call that the end of the episode. Let me take a quick look to see if I can find any really cool urban legends. But a lot of them are just like very scary, and I don't want the episode to be, like a spooky urban legends. But let me take a quick look. I'm not really finding anything that I think is worth sharing at the very end to kind of cap off the episode. But I had fun doing this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, just let me know. You can send me an email to sleepandrelaxasmr@gmail.com. Just spell it all out. If you're confused about the spelling, check out the show notes. There I have the complete spelling. And I think that'll be the end of the episode. Thank you guys as always for listening. It really means the world to me. I'll leave the background noise going for a few minutes. But for now, it's good night or goodbye. Until next time, thank you guys again.